today's video we are going to discuss about the phylum chordata. Okay, so first of all, what is phylum chordata? Phylum chordata. Okay, so if we talk about the phylum chordata, so we are having the phylum chordata, which is the 10th phylum of the animal kingdom. Okay, so chordata word is basically derived from that you can say that the vertebrate organisms. Okay, so if you talk about the vertebrate organisms, they are calling it the phylum chordata. So if we talk about the characteristics, so the in general the chordata are basically bilateral symmetry, which means that, for example, if this is a symmetry, if I'm cutting from both sides, so this is divided into equally parts, that is called the bilateral symmetry. So their symmetry is bilateral. Okay, as well as they are triploblastic. They are triploblastic. Okay, which means their body consists of three layers: ectoderm, endoderm, and the mesoderm. Okay, and they are coelomates, which means they are having the true cavity. Okay, coelomates, and they are deuterostome, which means they after the embryo stage, the first development of the mouth occur, then the anus will be formed. Okay, deuterostomes, as well as they are having a complete digestive tract with the mouth and the anus. Okay, they are having the internal organs, okay, with the coelomatic cavity, as well as there is basically the thin membranous tissue in that you can say that in the cavity we are calling as a mesentery. Okay, and they can reproduce sexually. Okay, and they are basically comprised of four main features, okay, at some stages. Okay, so first one, if you talk about, that is the notochord. So what is notochord? Notochord is basically the rod like structure at the dorsal side, means at the back side. For example, if we are having this body, okay, so this is the dorsal side, so this is the notochord. This is notochord, which is providing a shape, support to the body for the muscles attachment. So that is called the flexible rod. Okay, which provide you can say that the support, that is called the notochord in that. Okay, and after some in the embryonic stage we are having the notochord, and that basically after that they change into the vertebral column like we are. Okay, second feature they are having, that is yeah, in the lower chordata this there is a notochord. After in the higher chordates it divided into the backbone or the vertebral column. Okay, so second we are having, that is the dorsal hollow central nervous system, nerve cord, you can say that. So after before in the dorsal side they are having the, this is like this, like the hollow structure. Okay, so this is the you can say that the nervous system. Okay, nervous system, but there is a nerve cord in the embryonic state that changed into the nervous system. Okay, and when it got changed in the nervous system, it divided into the, you can say that the brain part, and then the spinal cord. Okay, and then the spinal cord and the brain, which means at the anterior and the posterior side it divided into the peripheral nervous system and the central nervous system. Okay, so that is the dorsal, which is backward, and this is the hollow like structure, central nerve cord, okay, or nervous system. Okay, and they consist of the fluid. Okay, single tubular fluid. Okay, so that is called the dorsal hollow central nervous system. Okay, so that become, at the end they become the brain and the spinal cord. Okay, so after that it is having the third main characteristics, that is the gill slits. Gill slits mean they from where they basically respire. Okay, so this is the, for example, the pharyngeal stage. So here they are having the slit like structure. Okay, gills slit. What does it mean? It means that they are the pharyngeal pouches, okay, in the paired form on the lateral side or the anterior part of the body, okay, for the respiration. Okay, for the respiration. Okay, after that you can see that the respiration, the opening may appear only as, like you can say, grooves, you can say, at the early stage of the development, from where they basically respire. So the fourth one is basically the post anal tail. Okay, so there is basically at the anus side they are having the, you can say that, the post tail. They are having, most chordata are having the tail which is posteriorly to the anus. Okay, so it extends beyond the anus, but in the embryo stage, that is in the tailbone, in the you can say the tailbone, that basically convert into the tailbone in humans, but before that it is the post anal tail. Okay, which is at the posterior side. So this were the four, you can see that, basic characteristics of the chordata. So if the, if the organ is having these things, so which means they are in the chordata group. Okay, chordata are basically the vertebral, you can say that the, you can say that the vertebrate which are having the notochord and they change in the vertebrate, so that is called the phylum chordata, and they are with the brain box, brain with the brain box. So that was about the phylum chordata, which means they are vertebrates. So normally they are having the heart to intestine to brain, mouth, tail, muscular segments, pharyngeal things, pharynx, nerve cord, notochord. Okay, so these all were the characteristics of the phylum chordata. In the next video, we are going to discuss about the classification of the chordata, like the invertebrate chordates and the vertebrate chordates.